Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking the Steel Dive SD 1968 Marina 300 monoblock dive watch. That again is a mouthful. I don't know why these watch companies make their names for their watches the longest possible name they possibly could. This one is actually my birthday present from back in December. So I've been wearing it for about a month now, which is awesome. And it's actually the only watch that's been on my wrist for a month straight, and I'm not complaining about it. It's definitely a really good high quality watch. If you didn't notice, it's Steel Dive's version of the Seiko Marine Master 300. So it's pretty much the same watch, but done a lot cheaper. It does use a Seiko movement, which is a good movement. And from what I've had on it, it's been a pretty good watch. So let's get specs and all that stuff out of the way, so then we can move on to my actual thoughts and opinions on the watch. Starting off, it is a NH35 automatic movement. It says it has 41 hours of energy storage. That's pretty good. I do know there was one point where I worked a few days in a row and I don't wear a watch to work. So I took it off and I put it in the watch box. Didn't put it on until 2 days later and it was still running. So it definitely does have a good long period where you can take it off and you don't have to wind it and set it again. Mine was about almost 2 days, so that's pretty accurate, yeah. The case materials is 361L stainless steel. I have no clue what that means, but I have found that the actual steel itself has been pretty tough and rugged, and it hasn't scratched easily. I'm quite abusive on my watches, but this one hasn't really gotten any damage or anything from it yet, that is. And hopefully it won't, because it is a really nice looking watch. It is a 60-click unidirectional ceramic bezel, which is something I really liked about this watch. When I got it for my birthday, I know you shouldn't, I straight away went onto their website and had a look at the materials and the movement and everything. And I'm not a watch snob. I just like to know what it is, so that I can kind of look at it and be like, oh, that's a nice movement. Oh, look at that ceramic. Oh, look at that. You know, look at that band. And I just kind of get a little lovey over the watch. But yeah, it's got a really nice bezel. It's really clicky. It sounds great. It's smooth as butter. And if you've seen any of my other watch reviews, you will know that I'm a sucker for a thick bezel. I love thick bezels. I love just the way they look, the way that they just grip to your fingers, the way that they just engrave them. It's a really gorgeous looking watch. I love this watch. And as you can see, look at that beautiful crystal. Look at that. That right there is a beautiful curved sapphire crystal. Oh my lord, is it gorgeous. Look at that beautiful baby right there. Oh my lord, I'm in love with this watch. Beautifully curved. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that is a curved sapphire crystal, and it has some AR coating over it, which is anti-reflective, I'm pretty sure. It does a really good job at being anti-reflective. As you can see, the light, obviously a solid light surface, but there's a lot of other things in my room, and it does a really good job at making it not difficult to read. So that's a massive positive. It is 1,000 meters water resistant, but I don't know. There's a 300 meter dive watch. That's why it's called the like the Seiko version is the 300. The Marine Master 300 because it's rated to 300 meters distance. But apparently it says it's rated to 1,000, which I don't know how that works. I know it says on the face 300, so we're gonna go with that. It's 300 meter water resistant. I would not even go down 300 meters. I wouldn't even go down 100. I pretty much swim on the surface. So I'm more of I like the look of a dive watch and the fact that I have a dive watch than actually using it. And of course it has a screw down crown, and on the crown it has that really cool looking logo, which I actually like. I like my crowns to be plain and don't have anything on them, but this one actually looks really cool. It's got like their shield on it, and I really like that. It's a cool looking logo, so if you have a cool logo, you may as well chuck it on there and flex it. The crown is really good, smooth as butter. I did have to chuck a bit of like mechanical oil in there when I first got it, just to smooth it up. It was a little gritty, but once you chuck some oil in there, run it a few times, perfect, brand new. But yeah, it screws in really easy. It pops at a fair distance, which I like because it makes it easier to screw instead of it being closer to the wall, making it harder to grip. This one's super grippy. It's got really good milling on it, and it's definitely a really, really good crown. Props to them for using an actual good crown and thinking about, how you're having to hold it and use it, and they did a good job. I'm really happy with that. Going on to the lume of this watch. They're using Swiss BGW9 Blue Super Luminous. Yeah, if you're gonna ask me what that means, I do not know. It's lume. Yeah. But check it out. It looks really cool. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look awesome. And it's really bright, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And it's probably my favorite lume I have on a watch. So that really says something. Considering I'm a Seiko fanboy, the fact that Steel Dive kind of have stolen my heart with this watch, and they've done such a really, really, really good job with it. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Going on to my favorite part about this watch. So there was a second company that I was looking at their version of the 300, and I was tossing up whether to get it or not, and they had this exact same feature. And then one day when I actually went to purchase it and I had the money, they decided to remove that feature and make it like a normal watch at the exact same price they had it marketed. And I just, no. I immediately said no, and I didn't end up getting it. But my dad then found Steel Dive, just going through YouTube, he just found a video about it, checked it out, and he got it for my birthday. So shout out to Dad for finding a Marine Master 300, not 300, with this feature. It has a monocoque case. If you're not a watch guy, you probably don't know this, but there's different types of case backs. So you've got your screw down back. So it has these little screw down areas, and it actually turns and loosens off. And then the other one is this, which is a monocoque case. So it is a full piece of like steel, and it doesn't screw. So this is just one big piece of steel that the actual movement is sitting inside of. And to get it out, you gotta like pop the bezel and the glass off to actually get the movement out, which is pretty cool if you think about it, that you've got one solid piece of steel with a movement in there, and it is like properly pressure sealed. Like, there can be no leakages, and it's really, really cool. Like, I love the idea of having a monocoque case. That's not like me being like, oh, I can only own a watch now that has one. The fact that this watch only costs $282.88 Australian dollars, about 160 US, I think. That's That's amazing. That's really, really cool that they were able to do a monocoque case with pretty much a Seiko movement, have the same looking hands as the Marine Master. Then you've got the curved sapphire crystal, plus you've also got the ceramic bezel, an awesome steel band, which just might be my favorite band, with an awesome clasp. I really like this clasp. This is a little sticky though, the actual locking part of it, but once you start using it, it's loosened off. And then it has a milled clasp. Holy, just wow. Oh my lord, that is incredible. That for $282 you can get a watch that's a full monocoque case, ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, a steel band with a milled clasp, and it looks as cool as it does. And it's got an amazing Seiko movement in there, and it's a big, chunky, beefy boy. That is it on my wrist. It has a 44mm case diameter without the crown. It has a 50.7mm lug length, lug to lug, that's the case length, lug to lug. Then the thickness is 17.2mm, so it definitely is a thick boy. Like, look at that, that's a chunky boy. The other things you can get is you can get rubber bands for it. They look pretty cool. You've got a choice between black, blue, and green, and they look cool. You've also got the blue face, green face, and the black face. My thoughts on this watch is that it's easily probably like a solid 8 out of 10. Like, you know, it's probably even a 9.5 out of 10. It is amazing. In about a year's time, I will drop a comment in the comments just saying like, okay, here's an update on the watch. The watch is, you know, broken. The watch is still going great. The watch is, hands fell off, the glass fell out. You know, just whatever happens, I will update it in the comments. Just letting you know if it's actually worth it or not. So if you're watching this anywhere from now until forever, check the comments and see if there's any updates on how the watch is going. In about a year's time, I will update it. So that is going to be the Steel Dive SD 1968 Marina 300 monoblock dive watch. Every time it's a mouthful. Great watch, 9.5 out of 10, highly recommend. Go check the comments, see if there's any updates on if the watch has stopped or not. But for now, it's running great, doing great, my favorite watch. Thank you all for coming out and watching, and I will catch you all on the next video.